to a show, a five-star dinner, and also a woman. If you've ever walked down here at night, you probably heard that sound. It's like all these guys up and down the strip with these cards and magazines. Todo? Que quiero? Behind the obvious advertising, there's a hidden trade in underage girls and huge hidden profits. According to one study, pimps pull in anywhere from $150,000 to $500,000 a year. We wanted to know more about the business of selling girls, so we met a guy who knows more about that than anyone.
Hi, honey, how are you? There's a lot of sexual trafficking going on in Las Vegas.
Dennis Hoff. He's been called America's Pimp Master General, but he considers himself a businessman.
Hey! I love it!
And what he does is legal.
I have a show on HBO called Cat House.
Hoff is the owner of the most famous legal brothel in America, the Moonlight Bunny Ranch. It's the setting for HBO's long-running reality series, Cat House.
People love the sex business, and I love being a part of it.
What he doesn't love are pimps.
You think pimps just suck?
Pimps are the worst leeches in the world. It's in Birmingham, it's in Charleston, it's everywhere. It's everywhere in America. There are pimps that are trying to grab the life of young girls and take them away from their families.
And what types of money are pimps pulling in?
Oh, tens of thousands of dollars a week.
A week?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
What is it with underage girls? Why do pimps make more money off them? Why are there so many underage
They're
girls?
easily manipulated. Because they're young, they're naive, but the price they pay is horrendous.
We're driving right now to Lyon County, Nevada, to talk with Dennis Hoff and go see his bunny ranch. You know, you hear names on the street, people calling prostitutes sluts, hoes, whores. But what a lot of people in this country don't realize is that the majority of prostitutes out there started in the business as sex trafficking victims. Hoff says that he wants to set the record straight. Let the public know that life in his legal brothel is a far cry from the lives of most American prostitutes.
Ladies, this is Amber. She's here visiting. We'll spend some time with you girls. Want to meet you all. We get scheduled every month or two. Come in and make their money and go back home and leave their life. When we walk you around and show you everything, there's just rooms down here. And the girls decorate them like they want. And we want people to be comfortable. LED plasma TVs.
Yeah, it looks just like a regular bedroom. What is this?
This is a swing.
I don't quite know how this works.
It's really easy.
All right. Let's move on to the next room. It's just boobs in the hallway. It's just boobs. The women here are in the safest and most profitable environment possible for a sex worker.
This is used one day a week for a couple hours.
They're tested weekly for STDs. They have panic buttons in their rooms that they can hit if a client gets out of line. And they also keep half of their cash. Some make six-figure incomes. Have you ever marketed a girl as being just turned 18?
Oh, absolutely.
But is there really a difference between 17 and 45 weeks and 18 years old?
Our congressmen need to work that out. They're the ones that made the decision that when you're 18, that you can join the military, you can kill people, you can do porn, or you can work at the bunny ranch.
Do you ever worry that girls watch the show Cat House and see how well the girls are treated here and think, wow, I want to be a prostitute, I want to be treated that well too, and then they end up on the streets in the hands of a pimp?
I don't want anybody to be in the illegal prostitution world. It's awful, it's terrible, and they're preyed upon by everybody.
So I know you guys are all of age now and you're in the business now legally, but how many of you were sex trafficked underage when you started in the business? Can you raise your hand real high? So we have 1, 2, 3. We counted hands and asked the women to tell us their stories.
I'm from Seattle and I started hoeing when I was 16. I got started in the sex industry when I was 15. I've been in the game since I was 13.
All were effectively sex slaves, controlled by pimps, and all were sold online.
What happened if you didn't get calls? If you didn't get any response from Backpage, what would your pimp do to you then?
We had to be out on the street and we had a $500 minimum. And if we didn't make our minimum, then we had to basically stay out there until he told us to come in.
Jazzy was trafficked by a pimp named Sweet.
I was 15 at the time, and that wasn't sweet, wasn't so sweet.
What percentage of the money that you made turning tricks did you give to your pimp?
There's no percentage. They get all of it. They get all of it. Actually did get raped out there. I was more scared of I wanted to live than to fight for being raped. So I just kind of sat there. I just kind of laid there. Because I wanted to see my mom and I wanted to see my dad again. Virginity wasn't an option where I came from, you know, it was taken from you. And so when you get into the game, or when you like have somebody telling you, you know, you can sleep with me for money and you already lost your virginity, it's like, why not? Like, you know, it's like, why not? You know, sex it's not as sacred as it once was.
When we come back,
I want to go home. That's all I want.
Selena's fate is decided. Federal law says that if you're under 18 and you're being sold for sex, you're a victim, not a criminal. That's the law, but for thousands of American girls who get arrested every year on prostitution charges, this is the reality. Belly chains, ankle cuffs, a locked cell. Susan Roski is a public defender for the girls here. Is it hard for you to see them come out with belly chains like they are real prisoners?
It's so hard, and I can't imagine being the parent of one of these girls seeing it. Society looks at them like they're whores. They're just prostitutes, not seeing them as children that are being manipulated and abused.
It's pretty crazy if you think about it, but in counties all across America, the only place to put these victims is detention centers, to lock them up, to keep them from roaming back out onto the streets and back into the hands of their pimps. This is Fritz Reitz, and he's going to give us a tour of the Clark County Juvenile Detention Center. This is the facility where these juvenile sex trafficking victims are being held.
Well, unfortunately, there's not a lot of options in terms of resources in the U.S. alternatives to for us.
The best resource our country has right now to take care of these juvenile sex trafficking victims is this. 3-inch mattress, cement, they don't have any pictures on the walls, no TV, nasty looking toilets, they're locked in here at night, just like a prisoner. This is where 13-year-old Selena, who was sold for sex by a pimp on Backpage.com, is being held. It's the Clark County Juvenile Detention Facility. Nobody thinks that these kids should be locked up, but nobody wants to risk turning them loose.
Well, this is a good example of one.
Judge William Voy is the family court judge in charge of Selena's case. He keeps an old case on his desk to remind him why these girls need to be safe.
She was released on the February 7th, and she was found dead on February 10th. She was murdered and her throat was cut. You can always theorize that, yeah, maybe they'd be alive, but this one I know it. I know it.
So why do you keep this case on your desk every day?
I keep it here because it reminds me that if I had that house, she'd be alive.
Judge Voy is trying to get funding for an alternative to the jail. A safe house for the girls who cycle in and out of his courtroom. Judge Voy right now is driving us out to an area of town where they've been planning to build a facility for these juvenile sex trafficking victims.
It starts right here. It's not a detention center. It's not an institution.
You have bedrooms instead of cells.
Looks like another wealthy homeowner in Vegas, right? And that's what we wanted to look like. These kids are messed up in a lot of different ways, and they need a lot of help.
Voy says private donors will pay for the land and the building. All he needs is $700,000 a year from the county to pay for probation officers. But the county won't pay.
we can't get to the next level, and it's extremely frustrating.
It's not just this county. There are almost no places for these girls anywhere in America. And all the federal funding for sex trafficking victims has gone to foreign girls. American girls have been shut out. Girls like 13-year-old Selena, now stuck in jail.
Oh my god, that's the favorite picture in the world. I love my little sister more than anything else. Oh my god, I miss her so much.
Selena wants more than anything, just to go home, to be with her little sister.
I was searching for a reason to be reckless.
Today, Judge Boyd and Selena's mom are trying to figure out what's best for her.
Oh, me and my family, I was trying to sister, but I could not get my defense or I go home, I swear. If I say my life, I'm sorry for the things I've done, and then I do anything to be home with my family.
You said that with only one breath. So you're my best judge right here, because you know this child.
Of course, I want my child to come home, but we need a plan. I mean, it's not.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, she's saying all this, I want to go home, that's all I want.
But she's not going home. Because no one can say for sure that she won't just run away, back to the streets, back to the pimps.
So we're gonna make me a fire home mother?
Selena's mother is burnt out. Terrified, Selena will run again and vanish forever.
It's horrible. You hear everywhere of kids, being picked up and you never ever see them again. So it's a horrible feeling. And no matter how many times that I talk to her about it, it's just like she's just not getting it. She's not.
Selena's mother is a teacher and she's used to dealing with kids. But her daughter is a mystery.
Just to have a kid that actually just goes to school and comes home and does their homework and, watches TV, So it's tough. I don't want to, take away anything from her because she's great. I know, right? It's just, I don't know, I feel like she's lost, to be honest. I do.
Selena is now getting help through a court-ordered drug treatment program in another state. But her future is uncertain at best. There are thousands of girls just like her, caught up in an industry driven by lust and greed, now online, and better than ever. It's selling the girl next door.